Hi there folks, so this is just a quick intro before the video starts to set you up with some context. My name's Dan Jordan. I've been writing and recording songs as a solo artist for the best part of 10 years. In that time you notice an ever-changing number of influences that will find their way into the finished records, either intentionally or unintentionally. So I thought it would be kind of a fun idea to create a series of short videos or podcasts where I could look back and briefly discuss a selection of my own tracks to try and pinpoint any musical influences that have wove their way in, both musically and lyrically. So I hope you enjoy. If any of these artists have influenced you in any way, either in your music or just throughout life, let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear your own stories. And if you did want to check out and listen to any of my tunes, there's a few links below in the description. So stay safe, enjoy, and see you soon. Hi there folks, welcome to the episode. I just wanted to start off with this episode as it applies to all of my recordings, really, and not just one particular song. I thought it would be interesting to kick off by explaining how I came to find my voice, like physically, not metaphorically or spiritually, or, well, maybe a bit spiritually. So for some context, and for those who don't really know anything about me, this is what I generally sound like.
Bridges burn, the ghosts we knew. On this old land we'll build anew. In this new world we'll think of you. In your eyes, blood and tears conceals you from these golden fears. While devils play, this can be fate. I'm buried next to shame. Words lose their hunger if you waste away your pain. The land is wide and the road is long. It takes you from the city, takes you from your home. Speak now. You can't always have what you want. You don't always get what you need. You can't always keep what you find, but you still get to look what you leave. Is not to blame for your deeds, though the voice of the vessel is in the ink that it bleeds. Start arguments when you're alone in the room, just to prove to yourself that you suffer no fool. So strengthen your grip if you think that you've won. Death to the old is still a disease for the young. The moon pines for your blood. Well, it sits 6 miles west off the track. Once you're bound, you're committed. There is no turning back. They built them a highway, diverted the road towards an angel built by man who's inherently flawed. They've ripped up our roots. They bled our wells dry, diminished our trade, cut off our supplies. And the city looms large, like a king on the hill.
Now, I always find it interesting that I get a lot of comments at gigs where people tell me that I sound like so-and-so, that I remind them of whoever, and the most common ones I get are, sort of like real Leonard Cohen vibes. You must be a big Tom Waits fan, or I like that Mark Lanigan sound you got going on and so on. Don't get me wrong, very high praise. I'll take it. But I'd never consider myself to be anywhere near standing next to giants such as those. But truth is, I was never really a big listener to any of those people that I just mentioned. In fact, it wasn't until I started receiving those sort of comments after shows that I decided to explore their music, just to see what people were on about. So in terms of sound or influence, none of those people were really at the forefront. This would change, ironically, because as a result, I've recently started getting into these musicians, and in one or two of my latest tracks, one in particular actually, one of these guys is very much a direct influence or response, but that'll be another story for another episode, I guess. Yeah, I always found it funny, and I still do, to hear or read what people think, and to have people flat out tell me what my influences are. It's fascinating to see what springs into people's minds when they're listening to me and listening to my songs. Before I go on, I feel that I do have to mention that I don't think of myself as a musician's musician. I'd never say that. I write more from a lyrical storyteller perspective, and the music's just inconsequential. That's a bit too far. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the musicality, and there's a degree of artistry that I really enjoy about the music, but I'm pretty much a jack of all, master of none when it comes to my playing and my ability. Most of my songs are very simple, and I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with my musical restrictions. I'm under no illusion there, but my songs serve their purpose musically, and that purpose is to generally provide a simple, how can I put it, a simple vehicle to get my stories across, and I'm happy with that. I'm fine. I'm going to start sounding really self-critical here, but this is the truth. I can't sing. I just can't. I spent a long time trying to find somewhere where I was comfortable with, somewhere like sort of, I start off in the higher ranges, then the mid ranges, but not only did I hate the sound of my singing voice, I always found it admittedly hard to keep pitch. In my early attempts, I tried to mimic Bob Dylan's vocal stylings. The closest you'll hear to me singing will probably be on my first record, which is very Dylan heavy in terms of influence, but more on Dylan in a later episode. But anyway, I was never happy with the way I sounded, so I started talking my songs through with vague hints of melody thrown in every now and again, somewhere between like a lazy Bob Dylan and speaking. It's felt very, very natural to me. It's kind of what I call talk singing. It's my natural voice, essentially. It's just muttering in a very rough tune, I guess, but I became comfortable doing it. However, I knew, or at least I thought, that when it came to playing live, the people would be like, what the hell is this? You know, I figured that people expected a singer to, well, be able to sing. So I got really hung up on my voice. But the greatest thing that ever happened to me as a solo artist, trying to find their identity, the literal voice. It was when I stumbled across a particular performance of a song, a version that I'd not heard before. This performance became the catalyst, for want of a better word, for me to become comfortable with the way I sounded. It was a very big turning point and allowed me to move on from all of these ridiculous hang-ups, really, looking back. It's really beautiful. Let me play you this clip.
I can't do the talk, no, like they're talking on the TV. And I can't do a love song like the way it's meant to be. Can't do everything, but I'll do anything for you. I can't do anything except be in love with you. And all I do is miss you, the way we used to be. All I do is keep the beat in the rock and roll company. When all I do is kiss you through the bars of a rhyme. Julie, I do the stars with you, baby. Julia, oh, when we made love, you used to cry. You said, I love you, like the stars of a rhyme.
So, based on this video title, I'm sure you knew that this was coming. I've always loved Dire Straits. That ultimately led me to this concert, and then on to Mark Knopfler's more recent solo stuff, which is fantastic. I really enjoy Tracker, from around 2015-ish, that was released. That's the first solo album that I think that I bought of his. But this performance, Romeo and Juliet, probably one of the most fantastic love songs ever written, or at least one of my favourites. I mean, just listen to some of these lyrics. One of my favourite lines, all I do is kiss you through the bars of a rhyme. I wish I'd written that. Amazing. Anyway, this performance, it kind of let me know that it was okay to perform the songs the way I do. Before I go on, I just want to clarify, actually, because it might be interpreted in the wrong way. I am in no way saying I don't think that Mark Knopfler can't sing. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I mean is that this performance reassured me more than anything that I didn't have to commit to forcefully trying to sing or change my voice. And it was okay to deliver the words naturally, without having to put on any persona, for want of a better word. This version of the song, to me at least, sounds a lot more soulful, more emotional than the recorded version, than the album version. It resonated with me more than the album version did. And all he's doing is essentially speaking with style. It's perfect, a perfect way to deliver a story. It sounds like he's living the song, to me anyway. So yeah, I realised I don't have to deliver the song in an over-the-top way, which I was relieved about because I didn't have the capacity to do so anyway. But I can get the result that I wanted from merely telling the story in a more intimate way. It gave me a real confidence. So everything from my third album onwards, I've let go and I've adopted this mindset, and now it's almost become my own signature style or sound. Yeah, it's weird. My favourite albums by artists, vocally speaking, tend to be their later twilight ones, because you hear a lifetime of experience in their voices. They finally lived through everything that they've been singing about for all those years, with a sense of reflection, weariness, wisdom. I always find that the latter albums are more emotive because of that. You've got, I don't know, Johnny Cash's American series, the Bob Dylan from Oh Mercy, which is probably one of my favourite Dylan albums, all the way to Tempest. Tempest is an amazing album. They finally caught up on themselves. Even Leonard Cohen's last two albums, probably my favourite actually. Mark Knopfler's latest solo material, it's amazing, but they all have that worn heartbreak in their vocals. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Next episode, I'll start looking at individual songs that inspired some of my tracks. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you wanted to take a listen to any of my songs or my last album, check out the links below in the description. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.